It's time to go balls deep.
The EA Sports College Football Headquarters Podcast.
Hell yeah, dude. We're doing more creative stuff today. I'm all about it.
I know. I love this. I love when we get to do our creative episodes.
Yeah.
We actually, a little earlier today, recorded an episode. It was a little heavy, right?
It was.
But it was good.
Yeah.
It was good content. But today, we're going to do more creative stuff because our audience has responded and they like it.
They do like it.
They like the
Thank
creative
God,
stuff.
because that's what we
And
like
so
doing.
I want to thank our audience for listening to the Balls Deep podcast, for tuning in once more, for following us on Facebook.
Yep.
I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, I want you to rate that podcast, download it the second it comes out, and binge the entire episode library, man.
Hell yeah.
We love you guys and we want you guys listening. We appreciate you guys. And Al, we are going to get to our very first sponsor today for just the tip. Do you have a tip for us already today?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, I'm ready.
Can you give us a sponsor?
Yeah, the sponsor first. The sponsor for today's episode is the Angry Dragon, home to the loudest stage and the best crowds in Revere. You'll get rocked so hard it'll come out your nose.
I love it. Okay. And so what is the tip for the day?
Today's tip is related to the content that we're about to provide, which
Okay.
is essentially like an audiobook
Sure.
that's free. You're getting this audiobook content. You don't have to pay for it. And that's
No.
a bargain.
Especially because it's probably not even worth very much at this point.
Oh, it's worth at least double what they're paying
Yes,
for.
absolutely.
Yeah. And so if you like getting free audiobooks, there are a couple of apps. When I'm delivering mail as a mailman, I have like podcasts and audiobooks going all day on my earbuds. And I ain't paying Audible. Yeah, all that money, like $20 for an audiobook, dude. Forget that.
Yeah.
I get my audiobooks from the library.
Nice, yeah, because you can have a library card and
Yeah.
then still download.
Right. And so there are
books.
two apps that I use that cooperate with the library. One is called Libby and the other one is called Hoopla. And they have different selections. Like even though they both come from the same library, that's where I get my audiobooks from, and that works really well for me.
Nice. One day, I hope to be able to download your audiobook or my audiobook.
No, you're going to buy it from Audible. Fuck you.
Well, but I also want to turn this book that I'm writing here into a kid's book.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, children's
what will
book.
you replace Pussy Blood
I
with?
will not replace it at all.
Oh, the kids need to learn.
Yeah, they got
That's
to
right.
learn. Yeah, maybe we'll just put like a rating on it. It's like 3rd grade and up or something.
There
like
you
that.
go. Yeah, I like it.
So-
Yeah, or if you do like PG, they just have to listen
They'll
to
just
it with their parents.
they'll just know it's about a cat.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Right?
Yeah, maybe put a cat on the cover so that people know. Yeah,
Cat with a holding a knife.
yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
So hey,
all right.
so we are going to read, or I am going to read another set of scenes from my book, Go Fight Win, which you guys already listened to the very first episode, and you guys liked it, and so we're going to go from there. And so in the last episode, when we left off, we had Detective Murphy, Detective Johnny Corso, and they had discovered a body inside of a fire room where the killer had struck, and he had written "Go Fight Win" in Pussy Blood. And so now we pick up going from there. It's
Yep.
the date is July 28th, 2019.
You know what I like about this book?
Why?
It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
And
right?
also murder.
Yeah, murder's fun. Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Something for everybody.
Okay, the time, 7:37 a.m. The place, alleyway behind Bukkake's. Crime scene tape blocks off a small alleyway that runs behind a strip mall 1.5 miles from campus. A sheet covers a body, and multiple patrol officers are on the scene. A Japanese girl in her 20s wearing a service uniform sits on a small step sobbing. Murphy slowly walks up to Corso, a look of determination on his face. "What do you got?" Corso turns his head to acknowledge his partner, Murphy. "Nice of you to make it, detective. This poor bastard is Tommy Lawson, 22 years old. Looks like he possibly got lured back here probably by someone he knows, and then got his skull bashed in with that lug wrench," he says, gesturing to a slightly rusted lug wrench with dried blood on it. Murphy turns his head slightly towards the young girl with telltale signs of trauma streaming down her face. "Who's the girl?" Corso gestures towards the sign on the door leading to the alleyway. "She works at Bukkake's, the Japanese biscuits and breakfast place. Ever eaten there? The gravy on the biscuits is top notch. Anyway, she came out this morning to throw out the trash and found him. She's freaking the fuck out. Murphy makes a quick assessment with the hundreds of cases worth of experience to draw from, quickly starts the investigation. All right, let's get a workup on Tommy here. Let's see who he was with last night. See if he has a girlfriend. And see if she has any jealous exes. Also, there are a couple bars around here. Let's find out if he had any unusual interactions inside one. We need to get forensics down here as soon as possible and pull his blood, see if he had any narco in his system. Corso knows where Murphy is heading. What are you thinking? Drug rip gone wrong or something? Murphy shrugs. Not sure yet, but it doesn't make much sense. Do we know who this shitty car belongs to? Anybody run it yet? He says, pointing towards an old, light-colored Dodge. Corso, having already started the preliminary steps on the investigation before Murphy arrives, says, yeah, comes back to the owner of the restaurant. Says he parks it back here at night. He's 64. Clean. No record. He normally gets to the restaurant about 3 a.m. He claims he didn't hear anything. Murphy's in his element now. Okay, get him on a statement. It probably won't tell us much, but it will establish a time frame. Okay, let me see the body. Corso kneels down, turns his head slightly to avoid staring directly at the carnage, and lifts the sheet. Murphy pulls a small recorder from the coat and turns it on. Fuck me in a goat ass, Corso. You ever watch the old Walking Dead series? Corso's voice gets lower. Nah, man. Zombies scare the shit out of me. Murphy smirks. Well, it looks like the time Negan bashed in Glenn's skull right here. First blow probably killed him. Caved in his skull. His eyes all popped out and shit, too. Everything after that first shot was just for shits and giggles. Anything else I need to know? Corso turns back to Murphy sarcastically. Yeah, you're going to love this, he says as he points at the dumpster. Murphy's face turns sour. He is disgusted by what he sees. Go fight win written in blood again, huh? He says as he inhales deeply through his nose. Smells like pussy blood, too. Corso rolls his eyes. Not to mention the heart over the eye again. What's with this pussy blood obsession you have? The grim look on Murphy's face turns to a wry smile. We all have our kinks, kid.
Nice.
All right.
He's got his Red Wings.
Yeah. Date, August 8th, 2019. Place, the Revere coach's office. Dawn approaches on another football season. Instead of hope on campus, there is an eerie feeling in tiny Revere, Massachusetts. After the gruesome murders of 2 college kids in the last 5 months, the Revere campus is clearly shaken. What should be a wild week before the first game has the tiny town of Revere on edge. As if having one of the worst teams in history isn't bad enough, average attendance will now drop from 4,312 to 4,310. Emma Sullivan enters the office of Liam Taylor looking to get a few words for her weekly game preview and finds him going over some plays he has drawn on a small whiteboard that sits next to his desk. Emma waves as she enters the office. Hello, Coach Taylor. Would you mind if I got a few words before our first game of the season? You know, a quote or something from the team we have put together? Liam looks up, smiles and motions to the whiteboard so she could see his offensive genius on display. Sure, Emma. I thought you'd be around months ago, but I guess you probably have more important things to do than cover a team that averages 2 wins a year. Emma laughs a little. No, it's not that. It's just that since that kid Kin was killed, my boss has had me chasing down anyone who says that they know what happened. Now we have a second one. Between those two, I think I have an interview everyone in this town other than you. Liam's voice matches the overall frustration felt on campus by the lack of an arrest in the case. I can't believe they haven't made any arrests. Someone has to know something. Meanwhile, I keep getting random phone calls to my cell. Messages from total strangers. I had to ask campus security to add extra patrols around my house, and some kid tried to sneak into my pool, which really freaked me out. Emma sounds surprised. I heard about that. Who was it? Liam shrugs his shoulders. I don't know. Some kid. Police said it was just some overzealous fan of the program and wanted to see where I live, but that's some super shitty, super creepy stuff, especially with some killer walking the streets. Emma tries to shift the conversation back to more familiar territory. I understand. Even here with this team, you are still high profile, well, at least in this town. So can you tell me a little bit more about this year's team? Liam doesn't miss a beat. As I mentioned the first time we met, the team is only slightly better than dick cancer. Maybe actually a push if you really think about it. If I had a choice between coaching this roster and cancer in my dick, it'd be a toss-up, he says with a wry smile. I think we have enough talent here to win 1 or 2 games for sure. Maybe we surprise someone on the schedule and win when nobody gives us a chance against. Emma seems a little surprised by Liam's dry sense of humor this time and laughs out loud. Well, ESPN has predicted this team will be the worst team in the country for the next 4 years. What would you say to those picking against you? Liam feigns shock as his team would be picked as the worst. Then a playful look on his face fades into something much more serious. Off the record, I say fuck them. Stephen A. Smith is terrible. Now on the record, when I got Northampton, we were picked to finish last my first 2 years I coached there. We had nothing. A small town, poor facilities, no fan base. More people show up for a state trooper's funeral than they did for a game. But in spite of all that, we won. In fact, we won so much they called me a cheater. Even when we won the state title, they would not give me any credit. They said it was all my players. It was pretty insulting, but I used that to motivate me, he says, slapping his desk for emphasis. Emma looks over at Liam. She notices the pained look on his face, like someone kicked him in the shin. She tries to move her conversation forward again and speaks about the future of the program. Do you think you can do the same thing here? The Board of Regents said that they're not going to keep throwing money at this program, and it will kill it if you cannot show improvement. Liam laughs at the choice of words. I think kill is a bad choice of words right now, with the current situation. I know we will get things heading in the right direction. Might take a year or two. I'm pretty meticulous. I have a plan, and I will stick to it until the job is done. The words are a breath of fresh air to Emma. Hope isn't something the school's football team has ever had for more than a few moments here or there in her entire life. Although it seems cheesy, she is actually inspired by the coach. That's good to hear. So any last words I quote, I could print this time? No F-bombs or references to dick cancer, okay? Liam, amused by Emma's sense of humor, thinks for a second before responding. I don't know, really have any quotes of my own. Maybe borrow one from a coach I know in Arizona right now. Have you ever heard about Coach Toast? Holy nipple tigers, we're going to win, he says, his voice changing like an imitation she has never heard. Emma pauses. She goes through her Rolodex of football coaches in her head and draws a blank. Coach Toast? Never heard of him.
If you've been following along with this series, of those who've got from the beginning, you definitely know who Coach Toast is.
Yep. Liam starts erasing the whiteboard and drawing up a new play. You will. His name will be in the headlines soon.
All right, keep going.
All right. Date, August 26th, 2019. Time, 12:47 p.m. The place, Revere PD building. Emma stands in a small waiting room just outside the homicide office. Through the glass, she could see a large map of the Revere campus broken down into patrol sectors. Inside, she can hear the voice of Detective Murphy and his partner, but from where she stands, it's hard to make out anything they are saying. She approaches the door to knock, but decides instead to wait and see what information she could pick up that they might not intend her to hear. Look, kid, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. This is a patrol where you run after the bad guy who just stole a lady's purse. It takes time and patience and lots of work, Murphy says. Don't you think I know that? I get it. I'm just saying each day that goes by, the trail gets colder. We should be out there asking questions, interviewing witnesses, talking to our informants, Corso says. Right now, we have 2 cases. The captain won't even utter the word serial killer for at least a few more weeks. That shit is bad for business, Murphy says. So let's just slow down. Do our jobs without scaring the shit out of half the city, okay? Emma flinches at this phrase serial killer. She raises her hand, pauses, and knocks, not realizing the door wasn't even fully closed. It swings open awkwardly, and suddenly she is standing there. Murphy turns his head to look at the young college-age girl with red hair poking her head into the office. She has a bag in one hand and drink carrier with 3 cups of coffee in the other. Before the detectives can even say anything, she starts talking. It's me, Emma Sullivan, from the Brown Beauty. Is this Detective Murphy's office? The guy at the front desk said this was your office. Murphy looks around and raises his arms out slightly to his side in surprise before responding. Sorry, it's not you, but I told them not to just let people walk back here. They're supposed to make you wait for up front for one of us to come get you. I swear, it's like they think nobody hates the cops. Corso perks up, quickly rises to his feet, and brushes his hair back. And with his hand outstretched towards Emma, introduces himself. I'm Detective Johnny Corso. How can I help you?
Nice. Smooth.
Murphy smirks at Corso's exuberance. Don't mind him. He acts this way anytime any girl talks to him. Make sure you wash your hands before you touch your face, if you know what I'm saying. Emma pulls her hand away from Corso. I know you guys are busy. I brought coffee and Dunkin', hoping I can barter for an interview. Corso's still standing right in front of her, quickly bursts out, "Deal, no takebacks."
Nice.
Murphy rolling his eyes at Corso. I guess we agree. That coffee got whiskey in it by chance? I'm only half joking about that. Emma chuckles. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Anyway, I'm hoping to talk to you about the Finn and Clausen murders from the school paper.
Emma almost let her dick come untucked there.
These voices are hard, man.
Yeah, they are.
Everyone on campus is pretty much shitting themselves right now. Rumors are swirling and everyone's on edge. The dean has increased security around campus. It's a campus police will walk students back and forth to class in the dorms after dark. Murphy nods. All those sound like good ideas. I'm terribly sorry about, though, Miss Sullivan. Both of those are ongoing investigations, and we can't reveal certain details to the press without alerting the killer. We're on to them. I like how they refer to her as the press, but she's like the school newspaper.
Yeah.
I like that.
The Brown, what was the paper called?
It's called the Brown Beauty, which is actually like the school newspaper for I made
was
up.
it? Oh, okay.
That's Paul Revere's horse.
Oh, I was wondering where that came
riders.
from. Yeah, I was expecting something like the Bell Ringer or the Silver something. The Brown Beauty.
Yeah.
That was his horse. Yeah, that makes sense. All right.
Yeah. So
He named his horse after a particularly good turd?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right. Yep. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
All right.
Emma listened intently. So you have a suspect? Corso and Murphy respond in unison. No, not yet. Emma asks a follow-up. Any good leads? The two detectives once again speak as one. Not really. Emma wrinkles her brow and opens her eyes a little further.
That's the narrator.
Oh, sorry. It's really hard. I got voices in my head.
Yeah.
DNA, she asks. Whoever it is has to have beaten his meat all over the crime scene at least once. I mean, isn't that pretty standard? Murphy responds, very excited by her intuition. That's the exact same thing I just said. But no. Corso interjects with sarcastic tone. Maybe he's a monk. Emma prods the detectives. So, what do you have? Murphy unapologetically responds, pussy blood. A metric fuck ton of it. Emma gasps like she's slapped in the face by the words themselves. Even knowing the colorful language police often use, she's still a bit shocked. Pussy blood? I'm not sure what you're saying, detective. Corso chimes in somewhat mockingly. Detective Murphy here thinks there was pussy blood found at both scenes. He says he can smell it. Murphy shoots back. I can, damn it. I can smell clam leakage anywhere. Like a bear or a shark.
Nice.
Emma thinks back to when she first met Detective Murphy, when she was just in grade school. He was just Officer Murphy back then, still wide-eyed and optimistic, long before his days, weeks, and months were spent investigating murders. She knows he doesn't mean to be crude or insensitive. It's what 23 years as an officer does to someone. And for Murphy, those years in homicide are like dog years. She still feels that she needs to ask, like, from a woman? You think the killer is a woman? Corso chimes in. Well, Bay Fury that was unleashed isn't the worst theory we have heard. Maybe the killer is just a hangry woman. What do you think, Murph? Murphy shoots a sideways glance at Corso, then back at Emma, but ultimately can't help himself and asks, is there anything else that bleeds so damn much? Of course, the blood is from a woman. Look, I'm sorry, we're just stressed. To be clear, we are 99% sure our subject is a white male adult, like every serial killer in the last 130 years. Anyway, thanks for the donuts and brew. Come back in a couple weeks and maybe I'll have more for you. Oh yeah, and Emma, please, nothing about pussy blood leaves this room. We can't afford to spook this guy. Emma gives an affirmative nod. Mum on the pussy blood. Thanks again, fellas.
As soon as she gets out of that room, she's going to be like, dude, there's pussy blood. There's pussy blood.
That's the first person she's going to talk to. Yeah. She's going to mention
We can do one more.
We can do one more?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Date, September 12th, 2019. Time, 7 p.m. Place, Queef's Bar and Grill. Queef's Bar and Grill is holding its annual meet and greet with members of the Revere Riders roster and staff. This year's guest of honor is head coach Liam Taylor. The bar is packed with students and fans of the coach. Coach Taylor is talking to some members of the team. Taylor stands on a small stage near the bar and sounds as much like a preacher giving a sermon as he does a football coach. Now, we're 1-0, but we're going to go through some growing pains this year.
Hey, they won their first game.
I did win my first game. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Boston College has won 20 straight versus us, and with all honesty, it looks like it's going to be 21. But it's just not about winning and losing. It's how we carry ourselves. Win or lose, we're going to show them things are changing. Every time we hit them, I want them to feel our pain. I want them to feel our suffering. And I want them to know they are fighting for their lives. Are you guys tracking this? His players respond in unison, shouting, "Yes, coach!" Off to the side of the podium, a very ordinary-looking white man stands in the crowd. He's about 30 years old and is wearing Revere football fan gear from head to toe. Without anything that resembles an invitation, he brazenly steps up onto the small stage right next to Coach Taylor, who has not even finished speaking yet. The man reaches into his pocket, pulls out his phone to get a selfie with the coach. He takes one picture and moves closer as Liam continues to implore his team. Liam stops speaking and attempts to address the man, but before he can even speak, the man starts talking. The man launches a verbal barrage that sounds like an auctioneer. "Hey, coach, can I get my picture? Are you just signing my jersey? I also got this hat and a picture of you I found in the Northampton Journal after you won the state title. I have some Riders underwear on. I swear, they're clean. Can you sign them? But not on the dick. No homo."
It's an important caveat.
Yeah. Liam stands next to the man, overwhelmed. In his 14 years of coaching, nobody has ever asked him to sign anything, let alone the clothes they were wearing. Not so much as an autograph, even after winning the state title at Northampton.
And usually no homo is taken for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liam, feeling like he has no other choice, smiles and signs the jersey, the hat, and the picture. Seeming emboldened by his success, the man pushes forward. "My name is Andy Watts, and I eat, sleep, and breathe Revere football. Biggest fan. How about another picture? Can you put your arm around me like we're friends? Can I call you Liam?" Liam's head spins, dizzy from the verbal barrage as he attempts to back off, to create distance between himself and Andy. Liam even jokes to the offensive line. Aren't you guys supposed to protect me?" Andy barely notices what Liam is saying, and Liam almost instinctively gives in, allowing Andy to put his arm around him and take several more selfies. Andy is relentless, like Mike Tyson when he had an opponent hurt. Now it's just a tornado. "Hey, what about doing a shot with me? The fans will love it. One shot. Let's do it," he says, pressuring the new coach. Liam looks around for help that isn't coming and tries to slow the momentum by engaging the man in order to wrench back at least some control of the situation. "I don't know, man. Long line still. You said your name's Andy, right?" Andy motions to the nearby bartender for 2 shots, which arrive almost instantly. "Yeah, Liam, come on. Just slam one back with me. I'm your #1 fan. Been following you since you started at Northampton." Liam looks like a man being woken up from receiving end of that Tyson knockout and responds in an attempt to just make it stop. "Okay, let's do it. Then that's it. Got a whole bar of people who want pictures," he says, reaching for the shot glass. Andy lifts the shot to his lips and sucks it down as Liam does the same. "Sorry, man. I hate to be a pest, but I got to get just one more picture. And can you sign my program for the Boston College game?" Liam, who has already reached a point of anxiety, just stands, signing everything put in front of him. Andy is on top of the world. He is truly feeling the moment. Feeling the crowd's frustration, he looks at Liam menacingly. They can wait. See, they don't mind." With that, Andy turns to the crowd with his arm draped over Liam, holding his bag of Riders swag and shouts, "Ride on, Riders! Go fight, win!" before grabbing his treasures and slipping back into the crowd like a python that just devoured a meal.
Dude, so I know that that's a common cheer. He said, "Go fight, win."
He did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Could be our first clue.
Could be a clue.
Dude, that's cool, man. That's fun. I like, dude, your Andy voice. That's good.
Yeah,
good
dude.
work.
Honestly, man, I need to sit down and read out loud and practice voices and cadence. This fucking shit's hard, man. These guys that get paid. I bet you they do it like kind of in small bits. And then they edit and all kinds of other stuff. And they probably read it a few times, so they kind of know the material. Yeah. Where, I know the story, but dude, it's reading it out loud.
Right.
To kids, it's so hard. I mean, it's really hard. You got to look them right in the eye, get that good eye contact.
Right.
And some of those third graders, dude, they look truly shocked, but they're teachers. You can tell they're into it.
Right. Yeah. And you got to look the kids in the eye so that they can't look at what you're doing under the desk to yourself.
Dude, this is why you are not a teacher.
It's one of the reasons. Yeah.
So,
all right. But not third graders, high school girls.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. So good. So that was it. That was like, that's going to effectively be for our audience, part 2 of Go Fight Win. Yeah, and I know it's the reading's a little rough. I'm not going to self-glaze.
Yeah. But I started to see a little distinction between Corso and Murphy.
Yeah. I'm trying. So Corso's more like a surfer dude, but
I was starting to pick that up.
Yeah. He's kind of a surfer dude. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Well, it's a work in progress. Yeah, but dude, the story, that's the story. You know what, listeners? Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
No, if you were just reading this, you'd have to do all that shit in your own head.
Well, and you'd put your own voices to people.
And Anthony's doing that work for you.
Yeah. And I'm not even schizophrenic yet. So.
Yeah, not yet. But dude, the way you did Andy makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Andy was good, dude.
Yeah. So that kind of just came to me. So.
Yeah, that was well done.
So, all right. So, do we have a sponsor for this?
Of course we have a sponsor. Dude, who wouldn't want to sponsor this? This is great. So, this sponsor is Busted Nut Face and Body Lotion.
Ooh, Busted Nut. They're new. They're kind of new. Anyway.
They are kind of new. I think this is their first full ad.
Okay, good. I like it.
Yeah. Every bottle contains the oils and nutrients of over 1,000 busted nuts. Imagine the youth and vitality of 1,000 busted nuts on your face. We start with the highest quality of nuts sourced from around the globe. We use ancient techniques combined with modern technology to bust our nuts, and we bust our nuts right into the bottle, so you're getting it fresh.
I love it.
You can use it anywhere, but try not to get it in your hair.
Yeah, where's this factory at, man?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, they're based probably somewhere sweet, like Salt Lake City, Utah. Or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to write back to them and see. I don't want to do anything to mess up the sponsorship.
Though. No, me neither. You just
play it cool, man.
Just read what they send you, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So once again, thank you for listening to the Balls Deep podcast. Al, you got anything else to add today?
No, dude. Thanks for listening, man. It's a good time as always.
All right. Well, for Anthony Scafacci.
Yeah, I'm Alan Gigax.
We are out.